All right. Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. Two Geeks Talking is an entertainment industry interview show where we interview the creative people from the comic, film, TV, movie, and video game industries. And of course, I'm your host, Kurt Sasso. We are joined today by a very talented person. He is an actor, a singer. He is most famously known for the Tim and Eric Show, which I'm sure many of you definitely know of. We're joined today by the Sire James and, of course, Zan Patella. But Sire, how are you doing today?
Doing great, great. How are you, Kurt?
I'm doing wonderful. Thanks for asking. It's funny. I'm just going to mention the person sitting to your left here, Zan Patilla, who has been on the show before in the past. Look him up on the show, Z-O-N or Z-O-N, as he probably spells his name because American spelling. He's interviewed me in the past, and check out his work that he's doing currently. But back to Sire here, who is on at least my left, but you're right. You're a very talented person and a very creative person. How did you get involved in acting?
Well, I was like, I had a lot of trouble in school from being bullied and everything, and and didn't really put too much to know what to do with myself. And a counselor suggested that I go into children's theater. And once I went into children's theater, I got embraced by the teacher and all the other students, and I got my first leading role as the caterpillar in Alice in Wonderland, and I was the only one that knew how to squirm on the floor. And I began from that point on. It was no more trouble in school. It was all just all downhill from that point on, and it was just one theater project after another, and that's where the acting came to. Then I went to school.
But usually when it comes to being a creative person, it's not just acting as an outlet. You have another outlet as well, and you're a very talented singer, from what I've heard actually.
Well, I started out in this, of course, in the church choir, like most people, in my area. So I started singing there, But as far as being just creatively, my mother brought me a Brownie camera when a 8mm camera when I was about 12, and I started making my own little movies and my own little shows, and just everything I could do from that point on, from singing and acting and creating, my own little productions from that point.
Well, being in the heart of the entertainment industry that is Los Angeles, that is California and Hollywood and all that jazz, everyone's usually a struggling actor or artist in some way, shape, or form. How long did it take you to get that big break that everyone looks for?
How long is it taking to get a big break?
Yes, how long did it take you to get your big break in Hollywood?
I still haven't got it yet. I'm still hoping to get it. I'm still working to get that big break. Right now, I have been a struggling artist, but I did, in 1993, I decided to just go strictly art, live off of my art, and I stopped working in 9 to 5 and just strictly started to live on my art, and I've been doing that ever since then. And working with live bands and working with an orchestra. I've been traveling all around the world with singing with the Pleasure Unlimited Orchestra. I'm a lead character in the Barry White Show, and I've been doing that since 2009. But as it so happens, is that someone saw me doing the Barry White Show and doing stuff on MySpace and my little CD that I released, back then, and they called me up, and it was the Tim and Eric Show, and they was like, "We have the perfect part for you." And I almost erased the email. I thought it was a joke. I really did. And for some reason, my computer got stuck. I kept on pushing delete, and it got stuck. And so I had to read it, and I was like, "What is this?" And after I read it, I was like, I almost lost it. So I called them up, and I actually had a part on the show. It was no audition or anything. They said, "We want you." They went through a couple hundred people and for music guests, and I did it. And from that point on, that one time that I was supposed to be on the show, just once, turned into 5 more guest appearances after that, and then a tour. They did a live tour of the show, and I ended up going on the tour.
That's amazing. I don't know. I would consider that a pretty a good break for your career too.
That was the biggest break. That was the biggest break. It was. Thank you, Kurt. Yes, it was.
That's what I was leading towards.
Okay.
Sorry, that's just my.
I never thought that MySpace would do that, but it did.
It's amazing. It's MySpace is still around. It's great for the musical community as well too, which is wonderful. But from that aspect, from the Tim and Eric show, you've really expanded your career as well. You're trying to do your own projects on a larger scale now. You've done a wonderful new show, a new pilot that I happened to catch, which was called Your Honor. Is there anything you can tell us about that show that you're able to, or?
The producer and writer of it is a little young guy, 22 years old, and I met him when I was on the live tour with the Tim and Eric. Also, it's called the Tim and Eric Awesome Show, Great Job. Okay, and I met him on that live tour, and he hit me up on Facebook or something and said that I'm doing my own little web series, and I want you to do a piece on it. And somehow I ended up doing that for him. He talked me into it. It was something special about him. Like, I knew that this boy was going to do something, and I mean, he sold his car just to buy a red camera. I mean, stuff like that, And so he asked me to do his show, and I did, and then he won a contest to do his own pilot, and then he asked me to do part of that, and that's what Your Honor came out to be, and it's really, really awesome. I just got a little small part in it, but I'm really, really happy to support him on it, and he's been helping me with my show, the same Sire James show, and he's been helping me with that, and I have a lot of really big name people that's part of it, that's done some little funny things for it, and a lot of the Tim and Eric co-stars are in it as well.
That's awesome. What was it about taking a chance on a young producer like that gentleman? Was that made you want to do it? What was something about his personality, or?
He just was very determined, and then he knew the type of comedy that Adult Swim generates, and so I trusted that that he was from that caliber of what kind of comedy that they do, and so I wanted to just go ahead and trust him with that. And I've trusted him with a lot of things that I would never trust anybody with, and he came through flying colors. I mean, he's amazing. He's just amazing, and he gets it done really fast, and gets it done well, and goes beyond your expectations. And so, I'm going to stick with him, until he's another, Tarantino.
Nice. Did you want to give his name? You can if you want. It's up to you.
Adam Carbone, Snaparelli. I don't know. Calls his name Snap something, but it's Adam Carbone.
Wonderful. That sounds amazing, and especially putting trust in such a young filmmaker. In that regard, it shows that the younger generation is very passionate about the projects they want to work on, and I'm glad that you've connected with such an amazing talent too. About the Sire James show. Specifically, is it just a mixture of comedy with comedy song, or is it just strictly comedy sketches, Carol Burnett style?
It's kind of a variety show, and it's with comedy sketches, and I'm gonna throw a little music in there, some musical comedy bits in there, and some touching things too. So.
That's good. What is one of the biggest challenges you have to do, you're facing rather, with the Sire James show?
The biggest challenges?
Mm-hmm.
I guess having the money. Having the money to do the things that that I want to do. I mean, it's like I got all the support far as the talent wise. I know a lot of talented people. that all I do is ask and they say yes, and all I need to have is the setup for them to do it. You know what I mean? So that's the only challenges that I seem to be having. Otherwise, I'd have a whole series set up already.
Now,
So we're
is it?
getting ready to do like a fundraising, web crowdfunding, whatever, and Zon can tell you more about that.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Let's talk about the funding aspect of the Sire James show, because it's probably a Kickstarter, or are you going Indiegogo?
Indiegogo.
Yeah.
Mm.
So we're going to go about it as many ways as we can, but primarily on the internet. We're going to try to run an Indiegogo. We're looking at probably another 2 or 3 months to really set off and actually launch Indiegogo. But you know, Kurt, the same situation. It's like you can't just launch it and expect in 30 days it's going to happen. So that's where I've kind of come in and I've been helping out Sire. So.
Yeah, no, it's very difficult, especially with the thousands of other projects that are out there trying to get crowdfunded. How do you set yourself apart from everything else besides name recognition? I think that's the main thing.
I just wish that I had done it when I first heard about it, because there wasn't a lot of people doing it. And I wish I had done it then, but I had this manager that told me, "Oh no, you're not ready yet. You're ready." So I lost those opportunities to do that, But I had a friend of mine who was very successful with hers, and she did a Kickstarter and got 25,000 right down to the last minute. She got her goal. So I know that it's possible.
Well, you're definitely going to have a great person working with you in Zon. He's very savvy in that regard when it comes to promotion and pushing, and he's very dedicated in that aspect. And
I've learned so much from him already. It's amazing what he knows. So yeah.
Well, and that's the other thing too, Kurt, is that I'm looking to take on maybe a couple interns. So just for those who
we need interns.
For those who don't know my background, I have like a master's degree from Full Sail in relationship to social media and entertainment business management. So I'm willing to share those skills if other people are willing to share their time. Nice. And hopefully this will be my third successful campaign, just small, my third successful campaign. So if anyone would like to be an intern just to learn on how to run a social media marketing campaign and how that goes towards like crowdfunding, I'll be more than happy to share that information. So.
Nice. No, that'd be interesting. Would that be more of an online aspect, or would that be more of an in-house?
Well, we can totally do things via telecommunication for people that are in different areas. If there's someone around in the LA area, that'd be great to meet people. But it's the internet now, right? And actually, it'd be great to have people in different regions, because we could do different types of events or just things for fun, right? If we have someone like in Canada, we could put things, maybe a flyer in some coffee shops in Canada.
I got a friend in Canada that she would do it.
See? So like little things like that. So yeah, I don't know. We'll just see how it goes. Obviously, we'll put links on your website later on and stuff.
Totally, for sure.
As far as like where people can reach us, and even check out like Adam's show or the Sire James show, definitely. So we'll definitely.
Yeah, definitely. We want the links for all of that as well too. Now, are you making the Sire James show more for the web series type aspect, or are you focusing on the more traditional media?
My dream, ever since I saw the Flip Wilson show, is I want to be on a major network. But I'm going to just shove it out to anywhere I can, to wherever it's in, wherever it can go. That is my dream. We're going to try everywhere we can go, but I'm already connected with some major networks now that I want to pitch to, and then still try to go beyond that.
Let's talk about that process, especially pitching a project to a major network. You have to have nerves of steel to go up to a producer or an executive type person and say, "I have a great idea. Just give me a couple of minutes of your time." How do you psych yourself up to get ready for something like that?
Well, you just, I mean, how do you know if you're going to catch a fish just by throwing, look in the water? How do you know? I mean, so it's pretty much like that. You know what I mean? It's like I basically been pitching to people that I actually, meet personally, kind of a thing, and I could do it that way. But as far as a total stranger, that's very nerve-wracking and very scary. And I mean, what can you do? But right now, I've been having like direct connection with the ones that I know. That just, like a contest. So there's a contest where they're looking for content, they're looking for shows, and so I managed to get mine in on on the contest, the NBC, what is it called, the Showstopper or whatever they got some kind of contest going, and I made it in 3 minutes before the deadline. So keep in mind.
That's awesome. Yeah, I find it interesting that with the amount of web series that are out there, traditional mediums like film and TV seem to be they feel threatened, I think, by the popularity of what content you can find on the internet. How do you feel about that in terms of being an actor yourself?
How do I feel about
how do you feel about the Hollywood's hate of new media versus new media not liking Hollywood standards?
Just either way it goes. The thing is the reason why I already started producing and writing, and my own project, is because I do not want to be controlled to what I have to do. See them, you know what I mean? I appreciate what they think I, should do, but the thing is that I don't want to compromise my, artistic integrity just to be a clown for someone else's, enjoyment. So I know what type of comedy I want to do and what kind of image that I represent, and and how my creativity want to be. So that's the difference. You know what I mean? It's like whatever the freedom is with, like, whereas if it's just web series, you can have your own freedom, but you have to have your own money. But with the freedom is to be able to do what you want to do. That's because Hollywood would kind of pretty much control what you do.
You could always move up. Yeah, I think that answers it. I was saying you could always move up to Canada. We're pretty easy going.
Oh, that would be cool. As long as it's not cold.
Yeah, 6 months out of the year it isn't.
Only 6 months, right?
Yeah.
That'll work.
Everyone has an inspirational person that kind of sets them on their path to where they are today. Who was that for you?
An inspirational person that does what?
That helped you, that puts you on the path to being an actor and a comedian.
Actually, there's been a lot of people. Like I said, when I was younger, I used to watch Flip Wilson and how he would, do variety shows and so forth. And since then, I've met a lot of other people that are in the business that have been very inspiring to me. It was Luther Vandross as far as the music wise, and a lot of others. And there's Lawrence Hilton Jacobs, which is a friend of mine who's also in the show, and a lot of people, male and female, that has inspired me to keep going to where I'm going now.
Sorry, I had some noise in the background. You're a very successful person when it comes to your profession. You're a very successful person professionally. Do you consider yourself personally successful?
I feel that I have been very lucky, very blessed for many opportunities that I've had. Because I have a lot of other I have a lot of friends that are in the business that have not experienced the things that I have, which I was like, looking at them like, wow, you da 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 da, and and so it's kind of weird to say that that I can't say that I'm not aware of my success, but I have a lot more that I want to do. You know, I have a lot more that I want to inspire and do. I guess I want to a broader mask. I don't know what I'm asking for. It's like you want fame for 1 minute and then you want like, oh, please leave me alone.
How do you deal with your failures?
Yeah. What's that? I don't have it. Never. I have to, it's almost like like you step out into the woods and, and you get shot. You go to your hole until the wound, gets, heals, and then you go back out again. It's kind of like that. I just wrap it up and just suck it up and just get right back out there again, and I, as time goes by, I kind of, I learn from what I, what I had to experience. I learned from it, and then I, then I keep it in my mind to, to not to make that same mistake again, or deal with those same people again, or, that kind of a thing, and then, just get back out there. And a lot of times, the universe, as long as you don't, go down on yourself, the universe does kind of like gives you that extra strength and backing, to keep going. Something I kind of learned from my mother.
Is there, sorry, second to last question I have. The younger generation are looking towards you as an inspirational person, and they're becoming inspired, but how can they inspire the generation that follows them?
Where do you get these questions?
It's for a documentary film that I'm actually shooting currently.
Oh, that's perfect.
Well, it really, it surprises me that young people even, look to me for anything, and that's what I really loved, It's like when I went on that live tour with the Tim and Eric Awesome show, and all of these young people, that are looking to me when I'm used to people that are older that that likes the music I do and stuff like that, but these young people were like really inspired by me, and I kind of like that, but I didn't know why. So I met one little fan in Florida, and I said, could you please explain to me why people love this show or like what I'm doing, because I don't feel that that my comedy my talent was even touched in in this show, what I mean? So what are they seeing that they're so great that I haven't even done, And he explained to me that it's something about I don't know, about the underdog, or the or the guy that in the AV room that nobody ever paid attention to, and all of a sudden he's a star, which is like who Tim and Eric is. And so I kind of like, oh, okay, so so maybe that inspiration will just keep going on and on and on. That you'll still keep inspiring people, no matter who they are and who you are and what you do and whatever. That's, I mean, I can just, that's in a nutshell of what I, hopefully, answer the question.
Oh, it was good. It was good. A final question then is there anything that I haven't brought up that you would like to let those that are watching and listening to this particular episode to know about?
That anybody...
Well, is there anything else you would like to let people know about?
I can think of
just that I would love to be able, I'm the perfect person that's, that's very shy about asking for help. That's why I've been so independent. I've written and produced and starred and did the art direction and did the costumes and everything for a short film I did, because I don't have the, the guts to just to ask for help. So, the thing is that, you can't do everything by yourself. So I just want to say that I would appreciate any support, anybody have any interest of wanting to see something develop, something new, something different, something fun to develop, with the Sire James show.
Right, and there's a lot of stuff that, being lucky, kind of being Sire's friend, my first night I came out here, he showed me some really great things about the show, and I've been able to see things like, as far as what's coming out, you know what I mean? And I'm not not trying to promote it, but as we're getting the trailer together, as there's other people getting attached to the project and more excitement building, there's some really interesting things that are going to be coming out that I wish I could say, but we haven't like released them in a nice and timely order fashion.
Well, when the trailer comes out, by all means, please let me know, because I'd love to showcase that on the site too. So.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, just bear with me a couple of minutes. I'm going to finish off the closing of this particular episode, because I hate to say this, but that ends this particular episode of Two Geeks Talking. It's amazing how much time flies by here. So.
I know. I don't think at first I thought, like, wow, what are we going to talk about all that time? But you've been wonderful, Kurt. It's great to talk to you.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Sire. And Zahn, it's a pleasure to have you back on the show as well, too. It's been too long. But as I close up this particular episode, I just want to let everyone know that, have you seen the past 700 interviews that have occurred on Two Geeks Talking? If you haven't, go to tgtmedia.com, click on the archives, and you have everything from 2008 till this current year, with amazing, great, and talented creative people from the entertainment industry in comics, film, TV, movie, and video games, of course. Finally, you can find this episode on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com. Make sure you click on subscribe, which I think is down below somewhere, over here, I forget. As well as the fact that it's youtube.com/TGTmedia. And, of course, we're also on our Patreon, which is patreon.com/2geekstalking. $1 a month helps support this particular show that's been running, and we'll be on our going into our 6th or 7th year this coming August. So I just want to thank everyone for listening and watching. Tune in to another great interview and another great episode next time on Two Geeks Talking.